I've got a tradition whenever something like this happens, and if we ever have technical difficulties, I always welcome people back to the Uncanny Valley Power Hour here on live television. If you're just joining us, we're at Lollapalooza 2016. I'm Meredith Graves. This is MTV News. And the woman to my right, not, as you may have suspected, a very famous movie star, but in fact, my coworker, how am I so lucky, the amazing Meaghan Garvey. Staff writer for MTV News and resident future expert.
Hello, I'm the regional manager of the Chicago Future Hive branch. Great to be here.
Thank you, and it's lovely to see you here in beautiful, sunny, magical Chicago, Illinois, where we won't stop having thunder and lightning storms. We're here to talk about your experience very recently seeing a show on the most recent Future and Drake co-headlining tour in lieu of his performance tonight here at Lollapalooza.
Yes, Summer 16 tour, and honestly the most exciting part of it was not Drake nor Future, unfortunately, but it was Kanye West who showed up. He did like 2.5 songs, honestly, but everyone freaked out.
I think we can swear.
Okay, everyone freaked the fuck out.
Anyone out there's listening that's offended,
Yeah.
just like, don't be such a dork, whatever. So what I heard was that Kanye basically just came out and stood on the stage. Is that enough in 2016 in terms of Kanye? Do people really need to hear him rap, or are they just going to go as bananas just looking at the man?
Well, as Jesus once said, my presence is a present, kiss my ass, so.
And what songs did he play on?
He did pop style with Drake, Father Stretch My Hands, part 1, and then he had a little riff about Kim, Taylor, etc., and
can you tell us more about that?
He basically said he's really thankful that his wife has Snapchat because now everyone believes him, I guess, and closed out with Famous, obviously.
And he closed out with Famous.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, did Future and Drake hop on that song, or did he come out by himself?
No, he came out, Drake was frolicking around in the background.
If there's one thing I love about Drake, it's watching that man frolic. I feel about Drake much like you feel about Future. These are beautiful men that we adore. And as you are MTV's reigning expert on Future, can you tell us something about how his performance was when you saw him the other night?
Well, it was a very Drake-heavy show. Supposedly it's a co-headlining tour, but it was a little light on the Future, to be honest with you.
So Future fans may not be incredibly impressed with the way that this tour is going because it's so heavy on Drake?
I would say so, and I've been following Future around the country for the past year, much like a Grateful Dead fan, and I would say that the quota of drunk tan moms was much higher than I'd ever seen at a Future solo show.
So the drunk tan moms are the Drake stans.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Didn't Drake once talk about how moms love him? I want to say.
Did
Moms
Drake talk at
love
any point
Drake.
about how moms love him?
love Drake.
We have a mom here on set with us. Can we get some validation? Do moms love Drake? Depends on which moms we're talking about. I'm sure you out in TV land can't hear, but apparently only some moms love Drake, and they are the drunk and tan ones.
Very drunk, very tan.
What did they think of Future?
They were Snapchatting.
They were Snapchatting Future or themselves?
Themselves.
Right.
Yes.
So the Future set was selfie time for tan moms?
Yes. Yes.
Now, were they with their daughters, or were they there alone to see Drake?
Sons. Most of them.
Sons.
In front of me were 2 14-year-old boys wearing like all over American flag print, and their moms, who clearly brought their sons, and not vice versa.
That's absolutely incredible. That's really remarkable. And I think that is well, maybe you can comment on this. It's a marked shift in pop culture where in the years previous with men like Ricky Martin, for instance, we had the idea of the male solo pop star existing as female eye candy. What do you think has brought about the change that's made it okay for young boys to be really deeply invested in men like Future and Drake?
Oh, man.
Because they're not really role models, per se. They are, of course, but like in some ways, no.
I think if I was a young boy, I would probably want to either be Drake or Future when I grew up.
What is
Not
it about?
both,
Is
but
it the
one or
rap
the
thing?
other.
Is it the money thing? Is it the handsomeness thing?
I think it's just a general swag.
Swag.
Yeah.
Now, Future is like Drake. Okay, like I love a turtleneck, but my guy, Future is up there with our friend Gerald in terms of pure fashion.
Yes.
What was he wearing? And are there costume changes on this tour?
There were no costume changes. And actually, Future was very pared down. He was wearing a t-shirt with his own name on it. Actually, I think it was tour merch. I think he was wearing one of the merch T-shirts.
Huh.
And no Future hat. I think he might be phasing out the Lone Ranger hat.
Yeah, we were specifically wondering whether or not we were going to see a Future hat on stage tonight. What do you think the likelihood is?
I think he's phasing out the hat because too many bros have jumped on his wave.
Schoolboy Q did the same thing with the bucket hats. Watch the hats.
As soon as there's too many surfers on the wave must move on. And Future is the wave.
Future is the wave? Now, one thing that we both have the common experience of having complete strangers walk up to us apropos of absolutely nothing and think it's appropriate to touch us because we're heavily tattooed women. But one of the main differences between you and me is that you have a shit ton of Future tattoos. Would you like to show my good friends out there in the ones and zeros your collection?
Absolutely. Okay, here we go. YDI stands for You Deserve It. One of Future's
Get way in there. I was up in people's faces yesterday.
One of Future's classic 2012 songs from when he was happy. We've got Deeper Than the Ocean, one of his very, very sad songs from when he was even sadder than he is now. And Know the Meaning from when he was lost in a K-hole of breakup and drugs and depression.
Does having Future tattoos make you feel closer to him as an artist? You do have a specific closeness with Future. No spoilers. Do you feel like having the tattoos gives you a sort of spiritual closeness? So is he with you now, even when you're not with him?
He is always with me, at all times. When I'm asleep, when I'm awake, he is there.
Future is there with me. And when there was but one set of footsteps, that is when Future carried me. What is it about Future that really makes you love him? I mean, I know we don't have an hour, but if you really had to sum it up for the fans at home, if you had to sum it up for anyone out there that's not a huge Future fan, what would you say it is about his music that makes you feel connected to him as a person?
Not only has Future been putting out wall-to-wall bangers since literally 2011, quarterly there will be just a banger of the year, but it's more about the emotional core of his music because it's all about pain. Future's music, even when he's rich, even when he's in love, even when he's successful, there's always an undercurrent of pain that came from sleeping on his grandma's floor with no heater and the police busting into the house looking for him.
In Grammy, on Views, he says, celebrating every day because I'm really, really, really fresh out of the coke house. So he is. I guess I didn't put it together because I didn't know anything about his grandmother's floor. Is this a commonly known story, or is this something that you know personally?
This is something I know personally.
And on that note, I believe we do have a lot to look forward to coming into our own future and your future coverage of Future. If you're just joining us, we're live at Lollapalooza 2016. I'm here with my coworker, MTV News staff writer Meaghan Garvey, and we're discussing the Drake Future All Summer 16 co-headlining tour in anticipation of Future's set tonight here at Lollapalooza. In your expert, and I mean expert, estimation, what can we expect from his show tonight?
Energy off the wall, no stupid banter, no oh, Chicago's my favorite city, I love you guys, and then tomorrow it's Grand Rapids, Michigan is my favorite city, I love you guys.
Walla Walla, Washington, you're fucking dope.
None of that, just wall to wall, and he dances so good.
He's a good dancer?
Oh my god, he dances
sometimes skinny guys can't dance.
No, he dances he's sorting through a tool cabinet, trying out new tools that he's never used before.
Listen, I'm going to need a demonstration. Give me your microphone. Oh, you know what that is? That's, hi, my name is Joe, and I work in a button factory.
I thought that was a relic of my childhood that I could never explain to anyone else.
No, it's not a relic of your childhood. It's, in fact, your future. But can you hook me up with some of the details about my personal champagne poppy and what I can expect from my hot-ass boyfriend?
I'm just saying, you could do better.
Really? Now what makes you say that?
Have you seen Future's cheekbones?
I like Drake a year, and I like what could I say, soft Drake. If I said I liked soft Drake, not vocally, But I like soft-faced. I don't like the chiseled, like, pro wrestler, like, looking Drake.
Okay.
I like soft Drake, like, maybe, like, there's a good chance that no matter how he acts in public, he might want to go home and listen to Yo La Tango, like, in our pajamas and, like, be very low-key, like, feelings Drake. Is there any of that on this tour?
Well, you know what I was just thinking? I don't know if that's on the tour, but I feel like Drake would be so much more lovable if he had a gut, if he was a little chunky.
I would love that personally.
I think that would totally change my opinion of him.
And there's this wonderful woman, I can't remember her location, but she's a very famous baker named Joy the Baker. And if you haven't seen this, she has an Instagram account that you can follow at Drake on Cake. So if Drake wants to get a gut and truly be my chubby, adorable champagne poppy of a boyfriend, he should talk to Joy the Baker and get some of his lyrics on a cake. And then share that cake with me.
Bang.
Drake, if you're listening, just hit me up, dude. You can make my hotline bling. I'm not, like, making really horrible jokes today. It's very early for me to try to make jokes. Give us some hints as to what the set list looked like. Just so people know, because everyone comes to hear one song, but when it's Future and Drake, and they have so many, as you said, bangers.
Yes.
What did the set list look like?
You can expect deep cuts. Stuff from, like, 2013 that wasn't ever on an album. He will play that. Like, it's like fan service for real fans, as well as people that don't know what the fuck is going on. But March Madness will definitely be played, and everyone will lose their shit.
What did they open with?
It was Drake, and he opened with Summer 16.
Really?
Name of the tour.
That's incredible. That seems like it's a logical possibility for something like that. Now, what do you think during Future's set, what do you think he'll open with tonight?
I would imagine that he will open with Thought It Was a Drought. And I would put money on that.
But if you had your way, great encyclopedic Future Island that you are, what would you have him open with?
He would probably have to open with You Deserve It, which is like a joyful song again from when he was happy. Because, you know, he's out here. You don't have to be like totally depressed when you're like out in the world with screaming teenagers. So he would open with You Deserve It because he truly does deserve it.
Huh. He deserves the attention, the
Yes.
fame, the love, your love.
Yes.
He deserves your love.
Yes.
And if you could say one thing to him right now in anticipation of his set tonight, any words of encouragement that you have for your man, in case he's watching, which I assume he is.
Take your shirt off.
I love you, Meaghan Garvey. That's about all we got
love
right
you
now.
too,
Thank you guys
Meredith.
so much for tuning in. Good morning. We are here. Second day of Lollapalooza, Chicago, 2016. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is the morning at a music festival, as the music is just starting for the day. It's practically sunrise over our landscape of emotions.
Yes.
We are live all weekend on MTV's various Facebook pages, and yesterday you may have caught us at facebook.com/MTV. Today, the MTV Facebook page will be covering the premiere of the wonderful film Suicide Squad, so you can catch us for the next 24 hours at facebook.com/MTV News. Tomorrow, we'll be back live for the final 2 days of Lollapalooza at facebook.com/MTV. I'm Meredith Graves. This is Meaghan Garvey.
Over and out.
You know it is. We'll see you guys later.